Good day, everyone out there tuning in from the ether world. This is Scooter here at Granville Guitars in lovely St. Petersburg, Florida. Today is July the 6th of 2019, and I want to introduce you all to my latest creation. This is the Granville AMD74 20-watt all-tube amplifier. And I've been working on it for a while now. It's something that has been in the back of my mind that I've been wanting to do, or at least wanting to experiment with. Lower wattage amplifiers have become all the rage, and with good reason. You can really get all kinds of wonderful, juicy, harmonic kinds of tones out of a lower wattage amp at a lower volume. And in this day and age of in-ear monitors and wonderful high-fidelity PA systems, in many cases, in the majority of cases actually, there's no need to haul around large, high-powered amplifiers. So I do love my 50 watters. They're my favorites. The JCM, or I'm sorry, the Marshall 50 watt platform that I base my AMD 800 off of is still, I think, my favorite amplifier platform. But I've come to love this 20 watt platform quite a bit. I've been spending some time with it, and actually kind of fiddled around with the circuit for about the last year or so, and just recently dove in whole hog, armed with a complete set of differing schematics and some ideas and about half a dozen decade boxes of various values, and have just kind of twisted this thing to my own purposes. The original Marshalls of the 20 and 18 watt varieties were they had two channels. This left channel here would have been with a tremolo active on it. Now, the tremolo in these amps was never all that great. It can sound okay sometimes, but it was never one of my favorite tremolos, to be honest with you. It couldn't hold a candle to, say, a Fender tremolo, for instance. So one of the more popular things to do to these amps is to come up with a secondary gain structure and introduce EQ rather than the speed and intensity controls for the tremolo. So that's what we've done here. From left to right, we have bass, middle, treble. It's labeled gain and master on that channel right there. So we have bass, middle, treble, gain, master. And all of this is inserted into this jack here. Okay? The gain structure is similar to a JCM 800. It will get similar gain structures for sure. It behaves a little differently because it's not a true master volume. It's localized to that channel, and so it kind of, stays in that channel, and so it behaves kind of like a master volume, but it really behaves more like an additional gain stage. What I did do that others really don't do is I messed around with this normal channel a fair amount that just has volume and tone on it and a pair of inputs, one slightly hotter than the other. I wanted to give a secondary tone and feel to go along with the gainier left channel, to give you another texture available so that you could plug in with an AB box and have two different kind of front end flavors, if you will. So what I did with the right channel, as we'll call it, is I was trying to make it sound more Vox like. It's a little chimier, it's a little bit more reactive, it's a little chewier than the other channel. They both have their uses, obviously. And with an AB box, they're a lot of fun to go back and forth between the two. You can set up kind of clean and rhythm sounds with the one channel, and then have a raging distortion for leads and things. And the beauty of it is, both channels, like my AMD 800 circuit, respond very well to volume changes and tone changes right off the guitar. So it allows you to do a lot of things. Okay, we've seen the front panel. Let's take a real quick peek at the back panel. Okay, as we can see here, it's pretty standard stuff on the back. This is the prototype, so it does not have the custom panels yet. My slogan and serial number information will be over there on the left, next to where the speaker jacks are. Over here it'll say protect the innocent, punish the wicked, and it will also have my serial number information, all that sort of jazz. Speaker jacks, pretty standard. Those are wired together, pretty much the same way as they always are in Marshalls. You have 3 selectable impedances for your output transformer: 4 ohm, 8 ohm, 16 ohm. I've got it selected at 8 ohms right now because the cabinet that I have to go with it in a matching red is an 8 ohm cabinet with a pair of 16 ohm Celestians in it, wired in parallel. And then the other things on the back, we have the AC power cord input and mains fuse. That's it for the back panel. Before you ask, effects loop, I only use the Metropolis effects loop, and I don't like what I don't it's my feeling that this design does not produce a high enough B plus to take advantage of what the Metropolis does. So I'm advising against effects loop in this amp. Can I put one in? Of course I can put one in, and I would recommend that we do the Metropolis. It's not, it doesn't behave the same way because it can't. This amp won't provide the same voltages that that Metropolis wants to see. I didn't like the sound of it, and it's a pretty transparent circuit. It really does not mess with an amplifier, and I've put it in a number of different amplifiers, but I didn't like it in this amp, and it's not down to the Metropolis circuitry. I think it's down to I couldn't find a place in the circuit to provide it with the voltage that it wanted without taking away from the amplifier. I might pursue that further with George Metropolis and see if it can maybe be modified somewhat to work with this circuit to fit my nefarious purposes, because now that I've discovered the glories of the Metropolis zero loss effects loop, I would kind of like to have one in this amplifier. So I'm going to pursue that further at a later time. Right now we're looking for basic core tones on it. Tubes are pretty standard stuff for a 20 watter. We have 3 12AX7s, 2 in the preamp section. We have 1 handling phase inverter duties, and there's a pair of EL84 tubes for the output. All these tubes are JJs. Right now, this is a 20 watter because I'm running solid state rectification in it. You can very easily put an EZ81 rectifier tube in it. Cost you a few watts, makes the amp a little more spongy. I liked it firmer at the lower wattages. I liked it a little bit more firm. That's the tones that I like tend towards that. So that's it. Right now it's using solid state rectification, but it's easy to change that over should you desire to do that. Anyway, that's the back panel. Pretty much all there is to see here. Let's plug this thing in and see what we get, shall we? All right, here we are. Got it up on the bench. Spent some time screwing around with mics, and I think it's good to go here. I've got an AB box hooked up that will allow me to switch back and forth between the two channels quickly and kind of show you the differences. I've got this 212 cab in matching red. It's loaded up with a pair of Celestions, a G12H 30-watt greenback, and also a G12-35XC limited edition 35-watt ceramic. And so it's got a little bit of wide-ranging stuff going on. First of all, let's hear the right channel. That's both volumes all the way up on the guitar. The volume's at noon, tone is at noon. One of the things I did from the beginning was to try and get a little bit more flexibility out of the tone control. I'm going to sweep through that for you. There's all the way down. There's all the way up. Like it right there, about 8. Okay, now the other channel, the 800 channel as we're calling it, I've got the master. Well, right now the master's at about 3 o'clock. The gain is about 1 o'clock. Treble is at about 11. Middle is at about 2 o'clock. And bass is back there at around 9 o'clock. I can't really see the numbers on there, so I'm going by the chicken head positions, which you can see better anyway. Now that's at a fairly low volume for both those channels. I kind of like cranking both of them and backing off the guitar's volume controls, but I wanted you to hear what they sound like at a pretty conversational level. And you can really hear the difference in the two channels. That's the right channel. That's the left channel. Right. Left. Now, I want to crank these bad boys where I like them. Okay, now we're in the right channel. Now, if you turn down the volume control, you can tell that channel is very chimey and kind of responsive. You dig in and it grits up on you. If you back off your volume control, you get a wonderful little clean tone. Provided I can play it right. Okay, now let's hear the left channel. Again, this is at volume. Okay, let's go back to the other channel. Left channel. This is the left channel. Now back to the right. Right channel. This is the left channel, the gain channel. Now, if you back off the volume, this is in the gainier channel, in the left channel. I was just messing with the volume control. I wasn't doing anything else. Switching pickups, moving the volume control. Let's try both pickups here and back off the volume some. Let's hear what it sounds like in the right channel, the less gainy channel. right channel. Well, that's about it, really. I just mainly wanted to show that rather than approaching it with the attitude of having a dirtier channel and a cleaner channel, I wanted two channels that could do both, but in different ways, and allow you to use the volume control. See that guy right there, guys? Right there on your guitar. Most guitars have them. This one has two. Volume control. You really want to start utilizing that when and where you can. You'd be surprised how many worlds of tone you can open up for yourself just by monkeying around with the tone controls on your guitar. Anyway, end of sermon. That's it for this short little demo of the Granville AMD74. These are going into production. They're available. If you're interested in one, contact me through our website, www.granvilleguitars.com. I'll be happy to walk you through the process. I'm not going to alliterate what the price might be because who knows how long this video will be out on the internet, and that price is probably going to be open to change as the years go by. Hopefully I get to make a bunch of them because I really enjoy doing it. I hope you've enjoyed my little demo. Like I say, if you want to know anything more about anything we do here at Granville Guitars, seek us out on the web at www.granvilleguitars.com. You can also find us on Instagram and Facebook, and the blog is over at WordPress, A View from the Granville Bench. That's all I know for today. Thanks for tuning in. Be good to one another.